Hey guys,
Episode 4.
episode 4, we made it. I saw a statistic the other day where it's like an egregious percentage, like 80, 90% of podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes, I want to say. So we're over halfway there. So we got to just keep chugging, and then we're already ahead of the curve. So there you go. So, first of all, thank you to everybody that's listened so far. I know that episode 2 and 3 had some audio issues. This one hopefully is better.
Only go up from here.
Yeah. We've invested in um better sound equipment. Um we've spent some time making sure that it's correct, and hopefully that pays dividends. So fingers crossed.
And by we mean Ryan.
Yeah. Rob was also here. We've both got sexy new haircuts. So audio listeners, I'm afraid you can't see that, but if you go check it out, even for like a second on YouTube, you'll get to see our sexy new haircuts. My wife did mine, and there's like this one spot on my head where I feel like it looks like she used a hedge trimmer. But other than that, it looks amazing. She does a great job with my hair.
I paid for mine. My hair is just really hard to work with.
I pay for mine, just in a different way.
Mm.
So, but yeah, we're definitely got that. uh, But yeah, so it's yeah. Thank you so much for everybody that's listened. Hopefully, the audio quality continues to improve. The content quality will likely stay the same or decrease. I'm just kidding. Hopefully, that gets better too. And yeah, no, it's good to be back. So last episode we talked about Skaven and Cruel Boys Law. Very unsuccessful. I feel like.
Yeah, a little bit. God, no. Episode 3 was hobbying, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
no, that's this one.
Oh, it's this one.
That's this one.
Okay.
So episode 2 was the armies in the game.
Yeah, with a
Episode
little lore, and
and
then
then
2 was a little bit more lore that we
yeah,
didn't really go into detail because I forgot everything.
yeah, pretty much,
Yeah,
pretty much.
par for
So
the course.
yeah, but so yeah, I think this one we're going to try and talk a little more about some hobby and type stuff. But before we get into that, um, the Hellsmiths are officially out. They've been out a little bit now, actually. Um, they're really good. There's a lot of people I know that like you're one of them is going to be running the Regiment of Renown.
Yeah.
The which is the battery, which is like the two war machine and like the rocket
The
launcher.
bombard and the cannon. Yep.
Bombard is the can. It's the rocket launcher and the bombard.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
So yeah, I think that's going to be very cool. The and then I forget the guy. It's the Demon Smith. I want to
Yeah.
say on
Yeah,
foot maybe.
he's the one that's like
Yeah,
mechanics
he
working
makes them
on.
better. The rules are fantastic. So they still use demonic power points, but basically it's I want to say it's like you pick a target and then you have 3 demonic power points. Um,
Is that once per game?
no, it's every round.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure I could pull it up, but in fact, I probably will pull it up. We'll probably pull it up and put it on screen. But essentially, let me go to the. Oh, let me hit my microphone instead. Um, but yeah, the oh man, I'm gonna have to go to Warhammer Community. All right, we'll stop there a second.
I mean, I just like it because Skaven literally has no anti monster anywhere, nowhere on the keywords. So it would be nice to shoot Kragnos in the face when he comes running up to me. Also, I feel like it would give people a prime juicy target that they want to hunt those things down.
Yeah, I think that they're powerful enough, even on their own, that they're very cool. So hang on, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the is it Battle Scroll summary? No, I don't think so, right?
No.
Faction packs?
Maybe.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's not on the app yet, right? It's
Uh,
only on the
yeah, I haven't even put my code in. It might be on the app.
I'm on. Let's see. I'm on the app. So,
If it's on the app, we'll do it that way.
uh, Nope, not on the app yet. Maybe I need to reinstall my app.
Scourge, Spearhead reference, quick start guide, core rules, Spearhead rules, terrain list, battle score summary, battle profiles, maybe? No.
Yeah, it's still not on the app yet. Let's see. He denies a slash. Um,
Regiments of Renown, I found it. Okay, so sorry, we had to kind of find it, and we did a very bad job navigating Warhammer community. But essentially, you have the two regiments of renown. You have the Curse Steel Battery for the Hellsmiths, which is it's the bombard, the rocket launcher, the rocket battery, sorry, and then a demon smith. So they have one spell, which is fantastic, which is pick the demon smith in this regiment of renown and cast this spell. It goes off on a 7, and until the start of your next turn, ignore the first damage point allocated to each friendly Hellsmith of Hashut each phase while they're within 12 of the caster. So, and he's basically always going to be next to both of them.
yeah.
Because he just makes them better. So they have, this is their ability. It does cost 1 CP, but only after you've used it once. So, like, the first time you use it, it's free. So, display a total power. If neither War Machine unit in this regiment around used any shoot abilities this turn, which does mean that you can't not Overwatch, covering fire. You can't covering fire with them because I guess you could because it's the turn. So if it was the turn, it would be in your turn. I could Overwatch to hit you, not Overwatch, but I'm going to keep calling it Overwatch. And then in my turn, I could do this anyway. If they haven't shot yet, for the rest of the turn, you pick an enemy unit to be the target. So let's say you have a big block of Gut Rippers that you want to be the target, or Kragnos, or whatever it happens to be. Probably Kragnos. While that enemy unit is on the battlefield, the War Machine units in this regiment of renown can only pick that enemy unit to be the target, but each of those War Machines counts as if it had 3 demonic power points.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Because it gives it extra rend, doesn't it?
Okay, so we're back. We were putting out disinformation. So while we're here, actually, let's look at the Demon Smith, because he's with the cannons, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Demon Smith, let me just whip this bad Larry around here. Demon Smith has a pretty decent shooting attack, actually. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. So 3 attacks, 18-inch range, which is pretty long. 4s and 4s, 1 round D3 damage, which is kind of whatever. But I mean, at least it means that he can still do something, even when he's back there with the cannons.
Yeah.
And like his melee profile is whatever. The United Sentinels are super good. So Death Shrieker Battery is 4s and 2s, and then 3s and 3s. Yeah. So yeah, Death Shrieker Rocket Battery, 3 attacks, 4s, 2s, 2 rend, D3 plus 2 damage. If it has 3 points, I feel like it's just 5. Roll the number of dice equal to the demonic power points, which is 3. Always 3. For each 3-up, inflict 1 mortal damage. What? You declared a shooting attack.
Oh, okay.
So on a 3-up. So like you roll 3 dice, and then if you roll a 3-up, it's a mortal.
I thought it was better, to be honest with you.
That's the extra stuff, and then but it also if it targets a war machine or a monster, it's damage 5.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Just flat damage 5 then.
Yeah, but I mean, so it means that you've got let's say you are shooting Kragnos.
15. I can almost one shot him.
18 because you've got the 3 mortal damage potential.
Oh yeah, I can almost one shot him.
Yeah, no, you could one shot Kragnos with that. I mean, I'd have to fail basically every save.
Yeah.
Because it's if I all hit defense, I'm on a 6-up, and then I have the 5-up board.
Oh man. Damn, I'm not gonna like to play that with my Doomflayers. They're gonna die, those poor little bastards.
Probably. That's what they're for, though. They're rats. And then the Bombard is 4 attacks, 3 3s, 1 rend, D3 damage, but it's anti-cavalry, anti-infantry, which is actually going to be super good. And then this one is +1 to hit, which is huge. For if there's 5 or more models and they're more than 12 away.
Okay.
and it's got a 30-inch range. So you're basically going to just pick the stuff that's far away that's trying to stay on an objective, which Obscuring's going to mess with you, obviously. And then the other one is enemy units within 6. You pick 3 units within 6 of the target, and then on a 3-up, they can't use commands until the start of your next turn. So that's kind of big. Because did I say what the Hellsmith did to the cannons? No, I think I just talked about his profile, right? Ow.
The demonic points on the spell.
No, that's he has an ability that makes the cannons better too.
Oh.
Yep. He's actually really good for them. So pick a friendly war machine within 6. Add 6 to the for each demonic power point. Heal D3 plus X, which is how many demonic power points. So heal D3 plus 3.
You know what's gonna happen, right? I guarantee you. This is what I can already see this now. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have like a Warlord's army and like my army, and what we're gonna do is target each other's war machines, and the first person to get that off.
It's gonna be a race to the bottom.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the big thing with it is it gives a lot of chaos armies which don't typically have a lot of shooting. So Slaves of Darkness, terrible at shooting. Khorne, terrible at shooting. Skaven have a lot of shooting, but
it's not great, but it's there.
Oh no, there's a lot of good shooting Skaven.
4s and 2s is a lot of it.
I mean, that's a lot what that is too.
Yeah, it's true. This is why I know it's not going to be overpowered though, because I'm already playing with 4s and 2s. It's like details, so it's gonna be nice when it goes off, but it's not going to over dominate, which I think is what's going to keep it in line.
It is going to be 2s and 3s. Sorry, I just need there's a notification that popped up. It is going to be 2s and 3s with the cannon if you're targeting an infantry block or cavalry block of more than 5.
Okay.
Which is very good because then it's going to be 2s and 3s, 2 rend, D3 damage. So let's say you're shooting into clan rats, that's gonna do a lot of damage.
Yeah, or gut rippers.
Or gut rippers too, because they are 5-up save. So you're hitting a big block of infantry or even monster killers, and it's gonna go straight through on basically everybody. On things like clan rats, though, even with all that defense, it's going straight through.
Yeah.
The clan rats are a 6-up?
No, they're 5-up.
Oh, plague monks are a 6.
Plague monks are a 6.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't know why they make their points go up.
Yeah.
They weren't even being played that much.
So we're a little bit out of sequence for points, but we should talk about those very briefly.
Oh, yes.
We thought about making a video separately just for the points, just to kind of talk about that, like, jump on the hotness, but there's a lot of... Moss Dog did a fantastic video. Shout out to Moss Dog. Go check them out if you haven't on YouTube already. But yeah, they did a fantastic video going through the Cruel Boys, the Iron Jaws, and the Gloomspite Gits points, which was great. And like, it feels like they did some weird stuff. Talking about Cruel Boys first, and then I'll hand it over to you for Skaven. But talking about Cruel Boys and Iron Jaws first, basically everything that's getting used in Iron Jaws came down like 10-20 points, which is great. Just means that Iron Jaws, it doesn't fix their problems, but it does give them more stuff on the table, which is kind of neat. And then the Git mob got the Gloomspite Gits got wild, because I haven't even tried them yet, but there's an FAQ incoming for Gits for sure, because their chariots are ridiculous now. So they get to... I need to look at it again to give you the exact thing, but they basically get to retreat and charge and move over people with impunity, and they get to do it in both movement phases and deal a ton of mortal damage and never be in combat, but also be in combat if they want. It's gonna be it's gonna be oppressive.
Did they count as cavalry?
No, they're war machines, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I mean, I should.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to shoot at them. They will, if they want to be obscured, they'll just go near obscured terrain. You are not going to be able to shoot at them.
Oh.
So honestly, there's an FAQ will be coming up for them, I'm sure. And then for Cruel Boys, I feel like they did pretty good with the points. I sort of wish that the Gut Rippers hadn't gone up. Monster Killers maybe I feel like should have gone up more, or become unique, or a combination of the two of those. It definitely felt rough having the Scare Gob, our one good sub-faction ability, and our good heroic traits and enhancements all now costing points, because it's just before you've even added a unit. Like if you go through and like you're like, oh, I'm going to use that and I'm going to use the faction terrain, and this is my faction ability. Like, I'm going to spend 100 points before I've even put a model in my wrist. Yeah, exactly.
That's super weird.
Yeah, so I get why they've done it, and it makes sense too, because if you adjust the points of units, I can ignore the points change by not taking that unit. If the sub-faction ability just makes everybody markedly better, then by increasing that dial, maybe it does some stuff, but like it's just it's like fine tuning, I guess. I don't know that I like it. There's definitely merit to some of the changes. Some of them, I don't know, but they needed to do something. It does feel a touch heavy-handed on that side of things, because the problem was monster killers, right? I think they're a great unit. I think the models are fantastic. Well, most of the models are fantastic. But and I sort of had a brief conversation with some people about this, but they're not gonna just all of a sudden start making it to where you can't run a ton of them, because obviously they're not going to sell as many models then. Although interestingly, Monster Killers are now off the web store. They have been for a little bit by the time this goes out. So maybe they're back out in a spearhead box or something by now. But something.
Probably why they weren't going to touch them too heavy, because they're going to want you to buy a new spearhead box.
Exactly.
Essentially.
Yeah. So, and it'll be hopefully that spearhead box brings a new unit of some description. Because if it doesn't, I don't think any Cruel Boys players are going to pick that up. But unless they're like, oh well, I guess I need more monster killers. Because everybody has there's not that many units, right? There's Gut Rippers, Hobgrots, and then monster killers.
I feel like they should just give you guys cavalry.
Cavalry would be neat. Or monster cavalry, not monster cavalry, but like flash out type things. That would be cool too.
I can see that.
Yeah. What about the Skaven changes? What did you think of
that? Let's see here. I know for a fact when it comes to the giant rats, the vermin lords, Warbringer went down to 300. Which is fine.
I thought you said he went down 300 there. I was like, what?
No. He's a flat 300 now, which is fine. His profile is pretty fighty. No one's really using him though, because the Seaver is still the optimum with the shooting. I also think the giant plague one also is a flat 300 now too.
Oh, okay.
Again, still no one's really using him.
Yeah.
The soggy screaming bell went up 30 points.
I think it needed to,
which is fair. No, that one I'm not complaining about. Everyone gets a -1 to hit, and the even turns and the plus movement and his War Scroll Swirl. It's fine. That one is completely fair.
Yeah.
Plague Monks going up 10 points is just dumb.
That sucks. Yeah.
They were a screen unit with a worse save. They don't come back, and they just explode on 6s when you kill them.
That never goes off anyway. I remember playing Stormcast in 3rd, and
even if it does go off, you can ward it.
Right. Yeah.
So them doing that to Plague Monks really kind of irked me a little bit, because our screens are very expensive now. They are almost the same price as Clan Rats.
It's what's crazy is for. How much are Clan Rats now? 160, 100?
No, they're still 150.
Okay. So for 160 points, I can get 20 Hobgrot Slitters, which have a shooting combat, 8-inch, 1-rend attack. They have crit mortals. If I have Scumdrek, which I'm never going to take Scumdrek for them specifically, but if I have that kind of stuff, I have like a really good fighty unit that costs the same, that doesn't need much more buffing to make it even better.
Yeah.
And I can give them 5-up mortals as well.
I mean, again, it's really kind of annoying, because again, the Plague Monks were like at the perfect points cost for a screen unit.
Yeah.
So Arch Warlock went down 20 points. He's 150 now,
which is nice.
Yeah. Being a one cast wizard is also really nice.
Yeah, and I think that the command point economy that you'll get back from him for the covering fire is huge.
Going to be a little bit more worth it now. I'm definitely going to run him into the list. I actually took out the Screaming Bell, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. So I moved him with the Vermin King, because Vermin King is a 2-cast. You know what I mean? Oh, also the giant plague sensor went up too.
Plague Furnace, yeah.
Which is, I can see why, but again, it's a little weird because it wasn't being too much play. Again, turning off
Yeah,
wards in 13 inches. Yeah, I see it, but
turning off wards is huge. So
I mean -1 to ward. That's what it
oh,
is.
but even so,
Yeah.
you know, you think of armies like Nighthaunt, like Flesh Eater Courts, like Osiark Bone Reapers, where basically, and Soulblight too, all the Death factions, a lot of the other factions too. There are so many units out there that have a 6-up ward, and because they have a 6-up ward, they have a worse save for it. Just having an ability that just turns that off is massive.
Yeah, but again, it's for the point cost. Like you would really want to build into more of a Plague Monk style list, and
Yeah,
because Plague Monks also went up, he doesn't really buff anyone else.
true.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of like a moot point, you know what I mean? Also, I was going very specific pestilence.
yeah.
Um,
Talking of clan, sorry, Pestilence, not Pestilence, they're Ashen, the Night Runners, the new Night Runners in the Warcry Warband. No, not Warcry, Underworld's box. Did you see that?
I did actually, but again, that unit's legends.
No, no, but you could just run them as Night Runners, no, Gutter Runners, whichever one it is.
I didn't even think about that, to
You
be
know, what I mean,
honest with you.
just pick up 2 of them because I think there's 5 in the box, right? So if you pick
Yes.
those up, make sure the base size is right. You can just run those as Night
Yeah,
Runners.
but I think the problem with that is that the one that's not legends is a unit of 20.
Are they Gutter Runners or Night Runners? Night Runners, right? Am I thinking of the
I'm
right?
checking right now,
Yeah.
actually. I'm checking
Because I
right
feel
now.
like so the because that box, oh no, that box, sorry, because the Kanothi are coming with the other thing, right? But the Hellsmiths also get in the Underworld's Warband is wild because I thought Underworld's was basically dead. um but
You're right, Night Runners are 10 models.
yeah, so you could just run 2 of those
Yeah.
Underworld's Warbands, which is kind of an expensive. Well, actually they won't be that bad, they're like $25, I think.
Yeah.
So I mean, $50 for 10-man units, pretty much what you'd pay anyway, right?
Yep.
But yeah, the Underworld stuff. Some of their models are great too.
Yeah, no. I actually Underworld is a pretty fun game. I played it before.
I've played a couple games.
Yeah.
I played with Mike
Yeah,
a couple
that's
times.
exactly what I played
Yeah.
it with.
And yeah, no, it is fun, and it's very. I feel like it does definitely play like Age of Sigmar light.
Hmm.
The hex movement's kind of neat and interesting. I gotta move this cable because I keep smacking it.
The card element to it's also really fun
Yeah,
too. It's a little twist, and it's a very easy game to get into.
that's yeah.
You can run
Mhm.
for the same thing as Spearhead. You can run 2, 3 games in a night of the Underworlds.
Yeah.
Um,
It's nice to have different ways to enjoy the game, I think. And like, you know, if you are somebody that is looking to get into the hobby and you're like, man, I don't know if painting little plastic soldiers and playing with them and doing all this kind of nerdy stuff is for me, um, try Underworlds out for sure.
yeah,
Because you can pick up a warband and it comes with everything you need to play. You've got 3 or 4 or 5 models, well, depending on the warband you get. And then you have your cards, and then
well, there's also an element of deck building too.
yeah.
So like if you like deck building like Magic per se,
Mhm.
you can technically build a deck for your Underworlds
Yeah.
thing. Um, I have a lot going on right now, so and deck building hasn't been my strongest suit,
Yeah.
but the fact that it's in there is another way to play.
I'm sure that there was somebody at GW that was like, "Hey, we are losing out on a bunch of Magic players. So what if we included deck building?" And then they sort of half-assed it. And I mean, I'm not saying it's not a good deck building system. It's just that I feel like deck building and Warcry. Sorry, I keep calling it Warcry. Underworlds is like it's fine, it's whatever. But I just feel like because all the units are legend war scrolls now, it's more difficult to justify buying them
Yeah,
unless you're going to use them as a proxy.
yeah,
Which is like what I'm saying. Buy 2 boxes, run them as the
yeah.
Night Runners.
But yeah, super fun game. I actually, like I said,
Yeah.
I enjoy it. If you just want to play a quick game with friends, it's for 30 minutes. You
Yeah.
can almost get 2 games in depending on how fast you play.
Your first one won't go that fast.
No,
I'm,
But Jesus, I mean, I love Mike, but he's a little bit of a slow player, and even he picked it up pretty quick.
yeah. I mean, I don't think Mike would be upset with you calling him a slow player either. I think that he's aware of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. People play at different paces, and every time Mike and I play, it's like we're playing to have fun.
Yeah.
Which I think is another thing that there's I want to say, sorry, we're jumping around topics a bunch here, but whatever. I'll talk about this real briefly. I feel like there's a very weird sort of dynamic almost about how people that play casually, that a game takes 5 hours. Who gives a shit? It takes 5 hours. I think they feel intimidated by tournament play because of how long it takes. But like, it's just a case of getting the reps in, doing more and more of it, and then going from there.
Yeah, I mean, our first game of Age of Sigmar. I mean, even at my tournament, my first game of getting into the swing of things, I ended up in a tie because we ended up in round 4 in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like that, but
Mm-hmm.
like trying to get your rules right and positioning, and
It definitely takes a lot.
And playing it is how you get faster on it. I think by the time I got into my second game, it was much more. I know how far these guys move. You know what I mean? I know what
Yeah.
a set amount of inches looks like a little bit quicker.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I know what 3 inches looks like off the top of my head. No worries.
Oh, you sure? There's a big difference
Yeah,
between
like
a male. Yeah. They say a male 3 inches and a woman's 3 inches. It's two totally separate.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, that was that's huge.
I swear.
Hey, where's there a mark on this tape? So hobby wise this week, what did you get into? Because I know, because I made you do it, what you did.
I started on the Hell Pit Abomination.
Yes, you did.
Started on it. The next phase of that thing is going to be so I did spikes, claws, a little bit of the wood, furniture, and metal. And I think with mine, I'm going to basically, it's since all of the flesh is grafted, I'm gonna choose a section of skin and paint it like a different color to make it look like they took different rats and stitched them together.
That's kind of cool. And I think one of the things that we can do too is like I can show you glazing with it, which will be a really cool thing to show you. I know, yeah, I can see your eyes glazing over. No, but with glazing, you can glaze like purple tones at the joins in the skin, so that it looks like bruising or inflammation or whatever. Which
cool.
Yeah, right.
I will tell people that after putting it together, that is one of the models that if you want to do like good skin tones, you're definitely going to paint him in sections. Don't put them together right away. It's kind of hard to do, but like because of the way the back end metal sits, it covers over some parts of the skin.
Yeah. So that's what I call builder's remorse, and I get it all the fucking time. So builder's remorse, for those of you that are unaware, is where you just went out and you bought a cool model. You're like, man, I can't wait to build this guy. Then you put him together, and you're like, man, he looks so good. Then you spray him, prime him. Then you go to paint him. You're like, man, how the fuck am I going to paint this thing? And then you're there holding the model upside down with a disco leg, trying to get in there. You've got the brush. You're holding the very tip of the brush all the way between his legs, trying to paint the cloak that inexplicably has like runes and inscriptions on it. You're like, man, what did I do to myself? Because here I am, regretting my life choices.
So, funny that you brought that up, because I tried this with my 40k orcs, and I've seen people paint on sprue, which seems like it's a great idea until you realize that, like, since I don't, because I did it with Squighawk boys, and how I found this out was pretty much it was the belly, which I didn't know that there was a strap on there because I couldn't really see it. And then when the model went together, I was like, wow, I painted this all one color. In reality, it should have been two different sections.
I remember when we had the conversation about, I think, you'd ask me, you're like, oh, hey, do you ever paint on sprue? And I'm like, no, never, because I don't hate myself.
Yeah. It's one of those things. And again, the other problem is too that people forget too is when you go to glue it, that glue will eat the paint and it'll get all over the place and it gets sloppy. The problem. Like it's So
you could do the best paint job in the world on the sprue, right? Like I'm talking like golden demon levels of paint, and then you could trash it in 30 seconds or less. Like I'm talking like 3 business seconds to like ruin a really good paint job in an area where you can't then get to. And if you have like a little bit of overspill with that glue, forget about it.
Yeah, it bleeds all over the place. It's terrible.
I forget the streamer's name, but I hopped into a stream on Twitch the other day, and there was a lady on there that was painting on sprue, and I caught the first thing I said when I got in there was, wow, a sprue painter in the wild. And like, she was like, oh no, I mean, I get it. A lot of people don't like paint on the sprue. I like to do it because of this reason, that reason. I'm like, hey, I'm not judging. Like I say, if that's what you want to do,
I feel like it's if you have already put the model together and you know how it goes together, it's better than just never doing it before.
yeah,
Because then you know what areas to avoid to paint on, because you know that's where the sections are going to go together, the glue and stuff like that.
yeah,
I will say, as a beginner, I don't recommend it because of all the reasons we said. If you have some experience and you know, like, hey, I know that, Stormcast. You
yeah,
know, if you put together a bunch of Stormcasts and you know exactly what areas to just completely avoid to like put paint on,
yeah,
I can totally see doing armor sections that are just easier just to hold up, and you know what I mean
yeah.
for tiddly bits.
One guy that I know that is, and this is built in sub-assembly rather than on the sprue, which I think is also fine. But one guy that I know that does incredibly well at doing this is Andromeda Studio. I think we've spoken about him a couple times on the podcast, but Andromeda Studio on YouTube is absolutely outstanding. So 100% go check them out. And they were doing some Scutari from Adeptus Mechanicus.
Mm,
And they are notoriously bad for the sort of the cloaks covering the legs once they're together and all this kind of stuff. And he does a very, very good job of like, pinning and like painting all of his models before he paints he glues them. And it looks good. I have a weird approach to it to where like if I can't see it, nobody else is gonna care.
yeah.
Which is something that is hard to drum into yourself, I think, in hobbying, is that nobody but nobody, unless it's in a painting competition, which you're never going to do it in a painting competition, but nobody but nobody is going to pick up your model and then turn it upside down and then look at where the cloak is and be like, you missed a bit. And if they do, you don't really need those people in your life. Um, but if you can be okay with it, be okay with it.
So that's why the hell pit for me it's gonna be okay. It's just because there's some sections on like the back legs that are just so
It's in shadow; you can't see it.
yeah
Right.
yeah.
Talking of that, I know this week also I put you behind the trigger on the airbrush to see how you like that. If you want to talk about that a little bit.
It was interesting to be honest with you. I feel like I would need to get a real good idea of it. I would need to do a few models.
Yeah.
Um, I can see why it's intimidating for some people. Definitely, especially for priming. Going a little bit heavy on um
Yeah.
the sections, and also for painting too. I can see how it can very easily go from a little splash of color to oh god, I blobbed up.
Right.
I can see it how that's possible,
Yeah.
but for like clam rats and whatever, that would be a game changer just to put a bunch of rats on there and just
100%.
zit 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 and you're done. Like I can definitely see the fun of airbrushing on
Move
there.
this way, touch. Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just it's definitely gonna get picked up by that
Oh yeah,
because it's like the
they'll be okay.
yeah, no, it'll be fine.
You guys will be okay.
Sorry, we're trying to get rid of the audio issues, so yeah,
No, I just want to make your life harder.
yeah, I appreciate it. I'm not going through and editing all those squeaks
Oh
out.
no, that's downvote me if you want, but just make sure you type in the comment. It's because Rob squeaked his chair.
Yeah, no. If you appreciate the things that I'm doing, please give Rob shit.
Yeah.
Because I give him a lot, but he needs more. That's what Rob needs in his life.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, before we go any further, we have for those of you that are into the social media, we do now have a Instagram and a TikTok, which is basically just going to be the shorts that are posted on YouTube. So you can also follow the YouTube shorts. I think we'll probably put some like funny other highlight reel stuff on there as well, which is just interesting for people to watch. And then go from there. But yeah, all the links will be down below. Eventually, we'll set up a link tree, and then the Discord's live, so there's a link for that down below as well.
Oh, also while you're down there, like and subscribe.
There you go.
You might as well.
Do that. Hit the bell. The what's the bell called on the screaming bell? Yeah, just hit the screaming bell. I don't know.
It's literally called the Screaming Bell.
But isn't it like
the Bell of Doom?
Yeah, maybe. And then Cax Call? No, maybe that's the spell. I don't know, whatever.
No, Crack's Call is the spell on the spell name on the bell.
So is the bell named Cac?
No, I call him Doom.
Yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, hit the bell, hit subscribe, and then there's a thumbs up icon if you want to press that one as well. The one next to it turns your computer off, so don't press that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Also gives you a virus.
does yeah, that you can't get rid of. But yeah, no, go ahead and like
Thailand
subscribe.
all over again.
Yeah, right. Because that'd be neat, and the channel's actually blown up way past my wildest expectations. Like there's a few hundred people who've watched the videos. There's a couple of thousand people, which is a weird number because it's not, I guess, true, that have watched the shorts. Which I think is just there's that many shorts that you can get through in such a short amount of time. That's why they're called shorts.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
So but yeah, no, it's been amazing. So thank you so much for everybody that's checking us out, and yeah, we'll keep getting better.
Yeah, slowly.
But going back to the airbrush real briefly, I think that one of the biggest things, and this kind of goes to the Hell Pit too, right? The Hell Pit Abomination is you could lay down different skin tones with that in moments, and then go back in after the fact and then do what we were talking about with
I feel
glazing.
like if I do continue the hobby, I would be a mix painter. So I would use airbrush for very broad to get speed in, and then for fine detail, going with the actual brush to do the fine
Yeah, because
tips.
I mean you've seen the what the hell are they called, the Stormcast dragons. I don't remember the proper name from.
Storm Drake
That's it. Yeah, there you go, nice one. Yeah, you've seen the Stormdrake Guard. All of that was airbrushing, apart from the guy sitting on top, obviously. Oh, man, that'd be crazy airbrushing.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
I'm not that good with it. But yeah, that was all. That was all, and they look fine. They're not.
No, I think the airbrush would be perfect for them because they got such broad wings that it makes it easier to more consistently than
Yeah,
dipping and painting
exactly.
because that's one thing I am noticing on the Hell Pit a little bit is I didn't realize how not careful you got to be, but the difference it makes between pressure on the brush and
Hmm.
if you're going up or down, you can't just go up
Exactly,
down.
because one of the things talking very broad strokes hobby type stuff. If you're painting, the vast majority of the paint gets deposited on the model where you end the stroke, which is something to bear in mind. With washes, contrast paints, and with base layers and everything. If you want to have an area more pigment rich, more colored, more vibrant, end the brush stroke there. So if you're painting from light to dark, then start in the light area and finish in the dark, and vice versa if you're doing a vibrant color, obviously. Just as very broad advice, but that's like what you're saying. If you just go in there with a brush and just kind of go buck wild, you'll have paint on the model, but it will just be a flat color.
Yeah, yeah, and it dries very different too. And you can also, I mean, if you when you do want to pick it up, not saying that you should, but you can see little bristle marks depending which way you stroked up or down.
And I think a big thing for that is that I don't think I sort of noticed it when we were painting the other day, is I don't think you're thinning your paints enough.
No,
So
definitely not.
I've got you using the wet palette, which definitely makes a big difference. But you definitely need to put more water in the paint just to get it to thin, because that's Duncan Rhodes's big thing, right? Like it's two thin coats is better than one big coat.
Yep.
Which definitely makes sense, because you get a much smoother finish from that. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun getting you behind the airbrush to kind of just expose you to that a little bit.
I like the trigger one.
The trigger one's good,
The
yeah.
knob one is also fun, but trigger one I feel like I can have a little bit more control. But as you were saying when you were teaching me different things for different jobs too.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, both of those I use them almost exclusively for priming, and I have a smaller one which is for the detail work. That's like a 0.2, 0.02, whichever one it is, nozzle. So that one is it doesn't let that much paint through. That is that's for painting, not just for priming. So which is, we'll get there too. But yeah, I'm excited to do more painting. We actually streamed on Twitch. I don't know, yesterday, day before, something like that. Which was pretty neat. So exposed Rob to that a little bit. We will probably do some live streams on YouTube for painting, because we're definitely going to do some live stream battle reports and then cut them down We're in the process. We actually stripped the battle table apart. Took the fixed terrain off of it. So now we just got to get some wood on there. But yeah, that'll look really good. And then we'll go from having just this podcast, which is a lot of fun to do, and I feel like there's a lot of information that's in it, to having battle reports. And I think that one of the big things that we're going to try to do is when we're doing the battle reports, I think that we're going to treat each game as if we're trying to learn something from it individually and collectively as a community. Like you got to watch out for this, or this is a good way to look at this, or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a slower breakdown of the games.
Yeah.
Also better for learning too, so you can see like for example, distance of models for like positioning for powering through. Like being super careful about that, or it doesn't look like that's in combat range, and suddenly you're in combat range.
Exactly. Yeah.
Again, 3 inches can sometimes be a lot bigger than it looks.
And 6 inches is combat range in reality.
Yeah.
Because if you can move 3 inches to be within 3 inches, that's 6 inches, or 5 and a bit, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something to be aware of. That there's a lot of I forget who it was that said it. It might have been AOS Coach. It might have been Honest Wargamer. I don't remember. But somebody was saying like the most powerful ability that any unit has in Age of Sigmar is its movement, and I think that's true.
Yeah.
The movement is incredibly powerful. You can win or lose games on how you move and how you.
What?
Yeah.
It's funny because I see like I think it happens in 40K a lot more too, where people are talking about abilities, and I can't remember who said it, but someone's like not complaining, but they were like, oh, the only special ability is they can move 6 for pile-ins instead of 3, and like you don't think that's a whole lot, but that's ridiculous because you can come around the backside and get into another unit combat. You can take an objective by being able to move 6 inches.
Yeah.
Because all I really have to do is have one model make contact.
Yep.
And then suddenly, you get more models in than originally you thought were gonna get into fight.
Yeah. That's huge. So I think we promised that this episode was going to be about hobbying, and we've talked about basically. Well, no, that's not true. We did talk.
We had some decent.
We talked a little bit about the airbrush. So I'm going to run through, from a painting side, I'm going to run through 3 top tips.
I'm going to be listening.
That I think that everybody, whether you've been painting since you could walk, or whether you've been, you've just started this week, I think that you can use. And I mean, there's a 1,000,001 videos on YouTube. It's like 10 top tips for miniature painting or whatever. They're great videos. Like there's a lot on there. If you put in like miniature painting, a ton of videos will come up. But so this is, I guess, more esoteric than how to paint, because I don't have a model in my hands and I'm not showing you the painting process. These are just, I think, the esoteric things that you can do,
which will be coming up. I do plan on actually painting tips and tricks, and then being able to show the model and the spinny thing, and
But for this right now, I think that this is just things that you as a miniature painter, especially starting out, or as, like I say, as somebody that's been painting for a while, that you can do. So the first one is not comparing yourself to other people. What is it? Comparison's the thief of joy, or whatever it is that's saying, something like that. Because you could think, I guarantee you, the first miniature you paint, you'll sit there and you're like, man, this looks not too bad. I'm pretty happy with that. And it'll look great. You've painted a miniature. That's awesome. I mean, it doesn't matter how good or how bad it is objectively, subjectively to you. Like you've done a miniature, and that's huge. Now, if you are sat with a brother, a friend, a sister, somebody at the gaming club that's been painting for a lot longer, and they're like, oh yeah, no, I painted this guy here. I actually have him with me, and then they pull him out, and then it's like crisp, the details on it are good, and it's better than yours. That doesn't matter. That could have been that guy, that girl's 1,000th model that they painted. They could have spent 45 hours on just the boots. Doesn't matter. That model that you painted is the first model. Never sell it, never repaint it, never strip it. It doesn't matter. I give this advice to everyone. Never sell it, never keep it. Keep it forever. Because that is the time capsule of when you started painting. 10 years down the line, a year down the line, 5 months down the line, whatever it is, you'll pick up a model and paint it, and then you'll look at that first model to where you have this model that you just did, and you'll be like, oh man, there's a pretty big improvement there. And then fast forward, like I say, 10 years, and then you'll be like, man, look at this. I just won Golden Demon, I just won Nova, I got a gold at Reapercon, whatever it happens to be. And then you still have this like starting block that you have. And yeah, that's my biggest thing is never repaint, never throw out, never sell the first miniature you ever painted.
Trying to remember the first miniature I painted.
Probably an orc.
No, actually, it was a Space Marine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Nick actually got the like
Oh
a
yeah.
starter with Necrons.
The recruit edition. Yeah.
Technically, it was a blue Space Marine.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Do you still have it?
No, I took his advice and just went whoop. No. I still have the first orc I painted though. That I do have.
Yeah, which is fine.
He actually came out pretty good.
Yeah. I bet if you painted a bunch of clan rats, whatever, and then painted another of the same orcs, whether he's a boy or a knob or whatever, and then compared it, you'd be like, oh man, I remember when I thought this guy looked good.
Yeah. Well, again, that's why I kind of chose orcs, because it doesn't matter how you paint them, orcs will be orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not comparing yourself is like the biggest pro tip ever. Because again, for one, where you start's not where you end up, and again, it's muscle memory.
Yeah.
So like your first one is never gonna be the best. Same with our podcast. I mean, our first 3-4 episodes are probably not gonna be the best.
The first season.
Season 1. Just don't end up like Game of Thrones and just throw it all away in the last season.
Yeah, right. There you go.
That's what you get for coming out on my birthday, Game of Thrones.
But yeah, I think that's like number one tip. If you meet somebody that's just getting into miniature painting, I think that's the best thing you can tell them is don't compare yourself. Like, because unless you're like a crazy talented artist, like, you've been a tattoo artist for like 40 years, you majored in art in school, you paint canvases, and you
I still think it's different, to be honest.
It's definitely different, but there's definitely a lot of transferable skill. Yeah. Then if you compare yourself to like Sam Lenz, Vince Venturella, James Wapple, all those kind of incredibly good painters. Anybody that's won a Golden Demon or a Nova or a gold at Reapercon, whatever, right? If you compare yourself to those, you could be like, man, I should just give up right now. But no. My second one is go watch those people and go learn from them. That's my second pro tip. Because while you shouldn't compare yourself to them, you can certainly learn a lot from them. Because they are incredibly talented, incredibly skilled as well. So, because I think that there's definitely a big difference between skill and talent. Skill is learned, talent is born with, and they're both right. There's a ton of tutorials on YouTube. The Games Workshop tutorials are also great. Like if you want to learn to just how to paint a Space Marine, they have a million tutorials for that. But if you want to learn how to glaze, if you want to learn how to paint OSL, if you want to learn to paint oils, James Wapple's like famous for painting with oil paints. Ton of videos on that online, and very much worth learning those techniques. A couple of other people that I can highly recommend on Twitch certainly. If there's Muse's Touch, which is they're fantastic. A Night Whisper, both incredibly talented. They recently won golds at Reapercon as well, which is huge. And then Brushmaster, who is Australian based. He's like a sixth. I just recently discovered him, and he and I are talking quite a bit. He's like a 6-time Golden Demon winner.
Ooh.
He is incredible. And then you have other people that are obviously more famous. You have people like Ninjon and Miniac, who are incredible painters, and also on YouTube they do really good work. And they present it in a understandable and enjoyable format. Their production values are incredibly high. So like there's so many people out there, and there's hundreds more that I haven't mentioned. If I sat here and mentioned every good painter, we'd be here for like 5 episodes. So if I didn't mention you, it's not that I don't think you're good, it's just that we don't have time. But yeah.
I was gonna say what I'd do if you have the funds available, keep an eye out on like Facebook Marketplace, and even if it's an army that you're not particularly into, you can paint to plastic is always good.
Yeah.
You can find yourself even 5 models for like $5, and you want to try something. You know
And,
what I mean?
and don't forget, if you live near a Games Workshop store, you can get one free mini every month. Did you not know that?
No,
Oh, yeah, no,
we're not close to a Games Workshop
no.
store.
Well, I kind of am at where I
Oh
work.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, if you go to a Games Workshop store every month, they will have a free miniature, and they'll have all the equipment in store that you can build and I think glue it. Oh, sorry, cut and glue it in the store, so you don't even have to have all the stuff. And a lot of Games Workshop stores have paints too, so you can go into a Games Workshop store once a month and pick up a free miniature and build and paint it. And like it might be, so this month's is October's is a rattling sniper from Imperial Guard.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you wanted a rattling, if you're like, oh man, that's a really cool rattling sniper, you just go to a Games Workshop store and like you get the rattling sniper and a coin.
Oh,
Yeah.
did not know that.
So yeah. But yeah, if you live near a Games Workshop store, do that. Like, just get the free miniature. And like, sometimes it might be a Stormcast, sometimes it might be a Nighthaunt guy. It'll be whoever it's going to be. But yeah, go in there, pick them up for free, and then you just amass a bunch of test models that you like test the scheme out on,
Yep.
or whatever. If talking to test models, this is my third. This is my. That's actually my third point. Is be okay with test models. If you buy, like Rob's saying, a bunch of models off of Facebook Marketplace, and you not necessarily into the army, and you want to just paint up a scheme, then if you're like, man, I really want to know what this Blood Angels red's going to look like on the top of this white, this gray, and then this like off white. Paint all the models, then put the Blood Angels red on them, and you're like, okay, cool. So they basically just swatches. Now you can do that on bases or whatever, but
I
yeah,
sometimes will use the sprue that they come in on, like the
that's a
little end.
great idea.
It works. You do have to be aware of though. It's good to see what the color will look like on plastic, but be aware of when the contours of it can change it a little bit. But it is a very good way of just instead of throwing them out, just put like Mephiston red just to see how dark or how light it will come out on.
Yeah.
I keep all my sprue bits just so I can paint on.
So
That's what I did for the Wasbomb Blast Jet with all the little extra bits. I painted on one of the wings that I wasn't using to see how purple would come out or blue would come out.
So the actual third part was going to be I guess this is 3A is figuring out your paints, right? So like test schemes, figuring out your paints, figuring out your colors. Find a color you like and then paint with it. And then use an app that I call Paint. No, I don't call it. It was called by the creators Paint Rack. It is fantastic. So Paint Rack will tell you all the colors from basically all of the ranges. It'll tell you what's a complementary color, what colors to use in a triad, what color from another paint range looks kind of similar. And another person that again does very good at this is Andromeda Studio. If you watch their video tutorials, they will have the paint that they used and then like 4 paints that you could use instead of it. But yeah, like the test models and the paint scheme stuff all fall into one thing, I think. And like I say, you could use anything. Don't use rocks because that's kind of weird. But like people will paint spoons, people will paint bases, they'll paint miniatures, they'll paint anything to kind of figure out the paints. And I think that if you just like a color, just paint with it. It doesn't matter what it looks like at the end. As long as you're happy with it, then do that. Don't let anybody tell you that your Space Marines have to be blue or red or black or green or whatever. If you want
to, it's your money. You literally paid money for it.
Yeah.
You took money out of your wallet and you paid for these models. They are yours.
Yep.
Do them how you want them.
If your orcs are blue skinned with purple shields, that your orcs are blue skinned with purple shields. If your Stormcast Eternals are vibrant electric orange, that's fine. Doesn't matter. If your Skaven are all black, that's kind of weird because you probably just primed them and you're being lazy. But that's also fine.
Well, or if all your bloodletters, your entire core army wants to be pink or white,
do that. Hell, make them orange. Who cares? But yeah, the point is, the colors are there to be used, and I think that it's important to just do what you want with your models, and be okay with it. If you want to paint, I forget who it was. It's a pretty famous commission painter, but I've forgotten their name. They just recently did like synthwave Space Marines, and they look amazing. And like does it fit the lore? Not even the slightest bit. Absolutely not. Does it look amazing? You bet your bottom dollar it does. It is super, super good. So yeah, that's my 3 very, very fast, sort of esoteric hobby tips is don't compare yourself to people. Learn from the people you're not comparing yourself to, and be cool using colors. And then with the colors, there's a couple of I guess like sub ones, which is like don't be afraid to just put paint on stuff and figure it out. There's a YouTube channel that I have gone off of recently that made a very good recommendation, which is basically because they don't use a wet palette. Um, Basically, you take a normal paint palette like the $1 ones that you get from Dollar Tree, and then you spray it with your primer. So you spray it gray, and then you put your paint on that, because then that lets you do the same thing as the sprue.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, now I like to use a wet palette, so I don't do that because I can't prime water. That'd be really weird. But yeah, so if you don't want to use a wet palette, which again is 100% fine, then just priming your palette before you start lets you see, and like over time you'll end up building up texture on your palette, so you can kind of dry brush on it as well, so it becomes like a multi dry brushing palette, which is pretty neat. But yeah, the kit videos, there's like a billion top 10 things to have as a miniature painter. Do what works for you. When I came back into painting after a long break, I was painting on a chopping board. Which worked super well because obviously it's not very absorbent, because you don't want your chopping board to like absorb all the juices.
Yeah.
So that worked pretty good. But after a while I was like, man, I gotta throw this thing out. So, but yeah, that's my top tips. What do you got, whether it's from a storage point of view or not even related to painting? What's your 3 things that you think somebody getting into this hobby should be aware of? Sorry, threw you for a loop there by just yeah. Hey, Rob, what's under that bus? Go, hey.
The first one is gonna be like a Nike commercial. You just do it, or Shia above. Just do it, just do it. Yeah, no, really, just sitting down and actually starting to do it.
Yeah,
it comes much faster.
Not even necessarily just with painting. I think that applies to everything. Like, just play the game. Like, if you've only got 400 points, just play the game. Yeah. Who cares? You don't need a 2,000 point army. Just play the game.
No, you can still measure stuff out. You can still roll dice with it. You know what I mean? Other than that, other than just doing it, is again, committed space does help a lot though. I'm the type of painter where when I start doing things, sometimes my attention span will just kind of go with me, and I need to just be able to put it down and kind of walk away from it.
Yeah.
And then being able to just walk away for it when it, get some food, get some water, go out for a smoke, whatever, come back, sit down, and then being able to do that kind of helps me not hit like a roadblock. Because sometimes you'll just hit a bump where it's like, I don't know what to do next, or I don't know where I want to paint next. So having a nice spot where you can put it down, walk away from it, and not have to worry about putting everything away.
And even the end of the night too, right? Like, having a spot where you can just set something down.
Well, you lose track of time too. So that's another good thing, is being able to just put it down, because you didn't realize you were painting for 2.5 hours, and it's 1 o'clock, and you got to wake up for work at 5.
Yeah.
Happens to the best of us,
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is add an extra hour, half an hour, however long it takes, probably 10 minutes in reality, to tidy up your hobby space so that you don't get shouted at in the morning for having paint all over the breakfast table. So
that's one that helps me out when I need to paint.
Mm-hmm.
And the third one is
Sorry, go on. I was gonna interrupt you to give you a moment, but yeah, you go ahead.
I was gonna say just don't be afraid to also check out on Amazon, and sometimes you can find very good sample racks of paint too.
Oh,
like Vallejo. I started with like a Vallejo starter set actually. Yeah. And that's a good way to get a lot of paints for not necessarily super cheap. It's still gonna be like $80 to $100, but it'll give you an experience with like different, like, pretty much don't sell yourself where you have to paint with Citadel or have to paint with Vallejo.
Right.
Some paints have better colors. So check Amazon every now and then, because things go on sale, and it's a good way to get yourself a nice paint collection.
And I think maybe I talked about it on here when I got back into the hobby, a few years back. I started painting with apple barrel and folk art paints, which are they're dirt cheap, heavy body acrylics. Some of the colors, the coverage is absolute trash. Some of the paints are absolute trash. There's a few hidden gems there though. Unlike the terrain paints, using them for terrain paints is fantastic. Um, but yeah, I guess to piggyback onto that point is that you don't have to spend a ton of money.
Yeah. No, you don't. You don't. You really do not. You know what I mean? And
Sorry, I'm interrupting you again because I'm a terrible person.
I mean, yes, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I still love
I
you.
love you too. The one of the other things to bear in mind is a lot of hobby shops, local game stores and stuff like that. They'll have dedicated painting areas. Now, a lot of them look like toddlers have used them. Um, it looks like the arts and crafts station in a kindergarten class kind of thing. Um, but some of them are okay. But if you just want to, if you don't have any paints, you don't have any brushes, you're like, man, I don't want to go out and buy this stuff today. Just go to find a local hobby store. They probably have stuff you can use.
But I will say for etiquette, just be prepared to spend at least $5 there if you're gonna go use their stuff. Just
It's definitely nice if you can
yeah,
buy some dice, a
yeah,
soda.
it's just something to support the
Yeah,
local. I mean, again, that's just because I work at a kava bar and a lot of people like to hang out, and we love people hanging out too. But just etiquette, if you're gonna use a space,
yeah. I think that's a big thing as a bonus final one on the hobby is to vote with your wallet.
yeah,
For sure, you can get things cheaper on Amazon. You can get things cheaper on Facebook Marketplace, and you should. You 100% should. You shouldn't pay full price for anything ever. In this hobby. But you should support the local games stores that you like to play at, that do a good job with tournaments, that have stock, that are an active community. That are places to go. Because if you don't, they will go away. And I mean, sure, there's Magic the Gathering, there's Yu-Gi-Oh, there's One Piece, there's D&D, and there's all the other things that support them. But if your friendly local game store that is owned by Dave and Bob, um, if they're looking at the numbers and they're like, man, we're making money hand over fist selling board games and Magic cards, but we made $3 this month selling Warhammer. We should just take that off the shelves.
yeah,
Then they will because why would they stock it? Now, I'm not saying pay over the odds just because you want to support your local game store. Maybe you buy your dice there. Maybe they have food and drinks there. Buy that stuff there. It,
the occasional model at MSRP. Like I said,
uh,
not everything,
yeah.
but sometimes, like
I,
again,
I don't know if I would say buy models at MSRP.
yeah.
Never buy models at MSRP. Unless you're buying from Games Workshop, which you shouldn't be. You should be buying from other people.
But I'm just saying, some local hobby stores. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Not universally. Most hobby stores have some sort of discount, even if it's 5-10%.
yeah,
Then you should be buying from them to vote with your wallet. Because if you don't, they're gonna go away.
yeah,
And then when they go away, you're not gonna have anybody to go and play apart from your house. And then that's fine too, but like you're gonna lose the community aspect.
yeah. Unfortunately, rent is not free, and a lot of these places do not own the land that they sit on top of.
Right.
Um,
So yeah, I guess just as a bonus one, be courteous to if you do go and use the toddler looking paint area, leave it better than you found it.
yeah.
That's another good thing
That
to do.
one, I will, because again, if you just leave it and it's a mess to hell and you put more work on them, they might eventually be like, hey, this is
Yeah,
more work
this is
than
dumb.
what it's worth.
Yeah.
Um, my extra pro tip is if you have a hard time painting, like getting into it, maybe invite a friend over and paint with them.
Yeah.
That's another one too.
Yeah, because it's very solitary painting in general.
Yeah.
And I think that if you are with somebody, it's nicer because you'd be like, hey, what color do you think I should do this guy's weapon? You'd be like, well, you have a lot of like browns on this, so maybe go like with a silver so that it stands out, and then like put a blue wash over it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like doing stuff like that because then you're like, oh yeah, no, that would be pretty cool because like you immediately get somebody's like feedback on it, or if you're like, hey, what do you think about this? Oh no, that looks really good. If you thought about doing it's a thing, yeah. So yeah, finding people to do it with is better. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I get quiet when I paint, but just having another body there sometimes, just a presence there can sometimes just give me all the motivation I need to keep on going.
definitely,
Um, well, that'd be my three pro tips.
yeah, three each plus probably like three extras that we didn't really plan
Actually,
on.
mine were not a pro tip. It's more like beginner tips.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm on the same board as a lot of people here when it comes to painting. I have not been painting for 10 plus years. I
Yeah,
barely painted half my Skaven list as is.
half is an incredibly generous estimate there, Mr. Rob. Incredibly generous.
Quarter. Ooh, okay, getting closer to it. But
I'm never, so long as you live, gonna let you live
I
rent
mean,
everywhere.
it's fair. It's fair. Time flies. You did happen to mention it 3 months before,
I
and
guess that's the last pro tip. If your friends tell you, hey, do you want to go to this tournament, but the army has to be painted, and they give you 3 months warning, maybe pay attention.
yeah, yeah. At least do a model or at least a unit a week, I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I think that should be very doable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I will say I'm taking forever with the pink orcs right now.
I mean, those you're glazing though, so you do.
I'm making life hard for myself. Although the Ard Boys are almost done, I got 3 of them to do.
Or
So
maybe that's another pro tip is sometimes have some models which you're willing to make hard for yourself, but also have a backup scheme just to make it easy for yourself too.
yeah, that's
You know?
yeah. Don't Not everything has to be perfect,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you can always go back and do more. So
Yeah. I guess that's my biggest one is don't strive for perfection. Just go with sometimes good enough is good enough,
yeah, yep,
and you can always add more later.
yeah,
And if you really don't like it, you can either strip it or you can get another model off of eBay.
yep. Just don't ever strip your first one.
No, no, that one keep.
Honestly, you will see that as a time capsule. It'll be 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and you'll be like, man, there was this one guy on the internet. He was incredibly handsome, and he said, "Don't ever get rid of your first model," and he was right, and he was also really handsome. So
Oh, maybe that's another pro tip too. Even if you find badly painted models and you get them for cheap, you can practice on those too. Strip them
yeah,
and practice on those.
because you can strip models very, very well using a bunch of different stuff. Maybe we'll talk about that in another episode. Because I think we're getting pretty close to. Oh, you flashing.
Oh, I was gonna strip, but no.
But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it for the hobby side of things. At least for this episode. I'm sure we'll talk about it more
Yeah.
as
Again, in the future, we'll actually be painting and little spinny thing and all those little fancy
I
things.
have one of those like motorized lazy Susans. I've never actually used it. I bought it for Instagram.
Just because you said that, I wonder who was the first Susan to be lazy enough to be like, I just want this to spin.
So I reckon there's probably like some woman called Deborah who invented it.
Mm.
And like
She was fighting with someone named Susan or didn't like a
and
Susan.
she was like, I'm gonna call this the lazy Susan. Yeah.
It's like the same with I hate to be Frank. Who was the first Frank?
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna look up who named the lazy Susan.
Yeah, I kind of want to know. This is prime important information, people.
Yeah, no, I mean, we will all be richer and better for knowing this. There's no single person who named the Lazy Susan. It's a combination of factors. Popular legends, likely false, is that it was Thomas Jefferson's daughter or Thomas Edison's daughter. Plausible origins, the Lazy Susan. The name Susan was a common derogatory nickname for a female servant or whatever.
Okay,
Uh,
I mean that makes sense too.
yeah, I don't know.
So we're gonna say the first person who named it was named Karen.
There
And
you
go
go.
from there.
Yeah, well, if you know definitively who named the Lazy Susan or why it's named such, let us know in the comments below because I don't know. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much everything we got time for. Episode 5 you've got to look forward to in the near future. Um, Hopefully between now and episode 5, actually, we get a battle report out as well. That'd be kind of neat. There's no guarantees on that because there's a lot of work that we have to do to get the battle reports ready. That's going to be a whole new learning experience in and of itself too. So we'll just need to figure that one
Yeah,
out.
we're gonna need more grace on that too.
It will not look as polished as the battle reports that currently exist, um, but it'll be fun to figure out. But yeah, I think in episode 5 we're going to talk about interactions between, or not interactions, I guess, who we think the arch enemy of our factions are. Who is our biggest hunter, and who our biggest prey is. So I think that'll be interesting to talk about in who we think we counter best and who we think counters us best.
Mm.
I think that'll be interesting to listen to, and I think it'll be interesting for us to figure out. But yeah, that's what we got coming up. I don't think there's anything else. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
I constantly live like that, so
Yeah,
that's just a common feeling for me.
yeah, no,
If we got something, put it down in the comments.
yeah. Like I say, Discord down below. There'll be the Instagram and the TikTok are also down below. The Instagram will hopefully have some models up on it soon as well. We're gonna open up a few more polls pretty soon as well. Probably we're gonna have a grot and rat themed army opening up very soon. So once we do that, we'll open that up for color scheme suggestions and the like. So keep an eye out for that. But I think, other than that, I think that's about it.
Signing off. Oh, wait.
Oh, we remembered it.
No, I forgot it.
Ah,
No.
spoofed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll come to me.
Yeah.
When I'm driving home, I'll be like, oh, wait, this is what I forgot to tell the people.
There's gonna be like a really weird add-on in like completely different audio after the podcast.
Different shirts and everything.
Different shirts, like our hair's longer. Yeah, and it'll be we'll cut it in seamlessly. Yeah, because we're that good at editing. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one, and have a good night.